This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, The Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Good morning, Stocktonians, and welcome to another episode of Tales and Tips. I am so honored to have with me a group from Toys for Tots. We have Sergeant Sean Pettyway, we have Corporal Rebecca Espinoza, and they are respectively the coordinator for Toys for Tots and the assistant coordinator. And then we have past coordinator, Staff Sergeant Jeff Addison. And it's so awesome to have you guys here today. We're going to talk about everything Toys for Tots, the pivotal role you play for community and children that are in need, and the area that you cover and the awesome things that you're doing. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. And let's talk to each one of you. Tell us how long you've been with the organization and what made you want to be part of Toys for Tots. Let's start with you, Sergeant.
So I've been in the Marine Corps for a little bit over 4 years. I've been here in the San Joaquin County out of Modesto for the past year. So I've been with the Toys for Tots Foundation for about a year now.
Awesome.
What makes me stick around with it is growing up, I didn't really have a Toys for Tots in my area. So, coming around Christmas time, growing up with 3 kids and my dad being a single father, it was a little rough during Christmas. But now I have the opportunity to make sure that no kid has to be able to go through that. So that's what my passion is about Toys for Tots, is just helping out, giving back, helping kids get what I wasn't afforded to have.
And that's beautiful, and I love that you expressed it that way. I can tell you, as an ambassador for Toys for Tots, it's amazing going out and seeing the kids' faces and how excited they are, whether we're at Pittman School or another location, and realizing that this may be the only toy that child receives for Christmas. And it's not just about the toy, it's about having them feel cared about by the community.
Yes.
All right, let's take it away.
Corporal Espinoza. I've been in the Marine Corps for 5 years, and I've been associated with Toys for Tots for a little over a year. Last year was my first year that I got the opportunity to hand out toys, and it was my first day at the unit, and I showed up, and they told me what I was going to be doing, and it meant a lot that I got to be there, and the little kids would walk up, and you hand them their toys, and like the smile on their face, and some of them had tears in their eyes. And you could tell that the parents were like grateful that we were able to give their kids something that they were not able to give their kids, and it meant a lot to me.
All right, and Staff Sergeant Addison.
Staff Sergeant Jeff Addison. Been in the Marine Corps just hit about 12 years. As stated earlier, I was a Toys Tot coordinator for the last 2 years. What makes me stick around with the program is, just as Sergeant Petway and Corporal Espinoza said, is giving that child hope for Christmas, because that might be the only toy that they receive, and make sure that community knows that somebody cares about them and they're not forgotten about.
And Glenn had shared a story with me, and we should give a shout out to Glenn Jose, because he facilitated my connection with your organization. He tells a story about a little boy who was sitting there with his present and not opening it when there was time to open it, and he was holding on to it because he wanted to give it to his sibling. And to me, that's amazing, because it just gives credence to how much need there is in our community and how much this really means to the children of our community. And the fact that he was willing to not accept the toy for him and wanted it for his sibling was huge. And of course, we gave him another toy. But that was amazing to me to hear. And just like you mentioned, I've seen kids crying over receiving the toys. And there's bikes that are given out. We'll let you talk about that and where you're going to be collecting. Let's back up just a little bit and talk about the territory that your group specifically covers.
So our Toys for Tots campaign covers the 20 cities within the San Joaquin County. So that is our area of operation. And then outside of there are other coordinators within the area that do cover the cities that we do not. So if there's any information about a city that may not be within the San Joaquin County, you can definitely find your coordinator at the Toys for Tots website.
All right. And how many Toys for Tots groups are there in California, and how many nationwide?
In the state of California, there are 37 different Toys for Tots campaigns going on, and that's throughout the entire state. And nationwide, there are 838, and that includes U.S. territories such as Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands.
And people think of you at holiday time, but you actually work all year long to fundraise and get money to be able to buy toys for children.
Yes.
And how many children do you think that you're giving toys out to in our county?
Well, last year we gave out over 43,000 toys to 12,000 children in our community alone.
Wow.
And 127 nonprofits who also distribute those toys. So our reach for toys is very vast, but you know, with help, we're trying to bump those numbers up because there's always more children that we can get toys to.
And it's wonderful that you connect to so many different nonprofits in our community. Did you want to give a shout out to any organizations that are sponsors, that are big purchasers of toys or people?
Yes, we have the Hope Foundation, which is one of the foundations that Glenn Jose is associated with. Stockton 209 Cares, 209 Paws, Brighter Christmas, and Good Samaritan, as well as local churches in the community. We have a lot of businesses that also contribute, such as InShape, Walmart, Buffalo Wild Wings, which is a big one that we'll be having all through the month of November.
That's awesome.
Early Iron Car Club, Simplot, and the National Defense Transportation Association.
Awesome. Wonderful. Excellent. And let's back up and talk a little bit about the history for Toys for Tots. How did Toys for Tots get formed? How long has it existed?
So Toys for Tots is a 71-year-old nonprofit organization.
Wow.
That collects new unwrapped toys and monetary donations that in turn we give out to the needy children in our communities. Toys for Tots was started in 1947 in Los Angeles, California by Major William Hendricks, and himself and his wife, along with his reserve unit at the time, came up and refurbished toys, and his wife made Raggedy Ann dolls.
Wow.
And with that first campaign, they donated 5,000 toys to the community.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. And are there certain ages that it's hard to collect toys for, or that you find you have a shortage of toys for?
The shortage of age that we usually run into is usually from like the 11 and up. Because we usually get like the toys for like the newborns all the way up to like 10 years old. But those when the kids start progressing, getting older past 11 years up, that's like the hard pivotal area to go find toys for.
Okay, so what type of toys would you like to see donated for that age group?
Anything is whatever donations are acceptable. Just any new unwrapped toys like bikes,
sports equipment,
just stuff for our older kids in that generation.
All right. And let's talk about some of the events that you're going to be having to collect toys.
So here I have our event planner. So the most upcoming one that we have will be our event at Buffalo Wild Wings on the 1st of November. It is Eat Wings, Raise Funds, as well as the Home Team Advantage. So if you go into your local Buffalo Wild Wings, which is, this one is in Lodi, but we're doing it for both locations in Lodi and in Stockton.
Okay.
You bring in the ticket that we'll be distributing here soon for the event, and a portion of the proceeds from your meal will go to the Toys for Tots Foundation. And at the end of the month, we'll go in and then say we'll be there.
Great. And are people at those events able to bring toys? And can we give the addresses to those locations?
Yes, we will be bringing our drop boxes to the locations.
Great.
And see, the Stockton location is 4751 Pacific Avenue in Stockton.
And that's at Pacific and March Lane, right near Target.
Yes, ma'am. And then for the Lodi location, it is 1537 Lower Sacramento Road, and that is location in Lodi.
And what's near there? Lower Sac, and do you know what the cross street is?
I'm not too familiar with that.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Okay. All right. And how about Walmart? When will you be at Walmart?
So our Walmart live remotes will be a little later on in the season, so that'll be late November. Our first one will be around November 23rd, and the 24th will be the first two initial Walmart live remotes.
Awesome. And if someone wants to look up this schedule, can they access this on your website?
Yes, our event planner will be uploaded to our website as well as to our Facebook page,
Great.
so that there is more than one avenue of approach to getting out and coming to support us.
Great. And what's the web address?
The web address for our Facebook is San Joaquin County Toys for Tots. So just go in the search bar and type in San Joaquin County Toys for Tots, and we'll be right on top.
Great. Awesome. Awesome. And can each of you share a personal story of what you've seen with giving toys away?
I can start that off. So last year, well, actually my first year when I did Toys for Tots, I didn't know what Toys for Tots was because I was up in Hawaii before coming out here. And it was a really eye-opening experience. We had a lady when we were doing our family distribution on her name was Miss Johnson. We was loading up her car, and her car broke down, and she was bawling out. She had 3 kids in the car. We were trying to help her start her vehicle and just give her out those toys. So it was a very eye-opening experience when she's making her way to go out here to go get to receive those toys to provide for her family and provide for her children. And another one, we had Miss Tricia Banks. She missed her husband got in a car accident 3 days before we had our family distribution, and she called us up crying over the phone, and I told her that we'll come out there and get those toys to her house. So we went out to her house and delivered her toys for her.
Awesome. That's amazing. It's beautiful. There's so much need. Unfortunately, there's so many people that are living right around the poverty level in our county. And to me, the long-term effects of what you're doing are just phenomenal. I mean, it may seem like to our listeners that it's just a toy, but it's so much more than that.
Yes.
How about for you?
Like I said, last year was my first year to have that opportunity to do that, to hand out the toys. But there was a couple of different times that it just you feel like a warmth in your heart when you see those kids and see tears or see happiness, and it's something that they don't have every day. They don't know if they're going to get presents that year, and then they come to us and we give them something that they may have requested or something that's just a total surprise to them. And a lot of the kids will run up and they'll ask for pictures or ask to shake your hand or just ask you questions about anything. And it's just it's a wonderful experience to have, to be able to do that for those children.
That's awesome. Where did you get to go last year for toy distribution?
We did it at our unit, actually. So we just opened the unit for the families to come in, and then they would come in and they would grab their toys and leave with smiles, and it was a good experience.
Awesome. And how about for you?
Personally, for me, actually, this is going to be my first distribution this year. So I'm definitely hoping to make some good memories, see some smiles, and get some kids some toys.
Awesome. Awesome. And Glenn Jose is now in the house. Let's hear from you. I shared your story about the little boy who, when he received his package, he didn't want to open it because he wanted to save it for his brother. And that had a huge effect on me when you told me that. Did you want to share?
Yeah, that was true and correct. And actually, we did it in Richard Pittman School, and there was a little boy there, and he said, "I'm not going to open up my present." And Sergeant Addison was there, our first Richard Pittman event. And this year, we're going to have Richard Pittman event, and his family is going to be there. It's going to be December 14th at 9 o'clock at Richard Pittman School. That will be on a Friday.
And Richard Pittman School is very special because he's our Stockton Medal of Honor recipient that passed away not too long ago. And to me, it's amazing that it's wonderful that we have a school named after him, and I think it's extremely fitting that we do a toy distribution there every year.
That will be, I think it's about 750 kids involved. And we make sure that Richard Pittman's get taken care of, and I already spoke to Sergeant Anderson, Staff Sergeant Addison, and Sergeant Pat Wade right here, and they both agreed to do it again this year.
Awesome, awesome. And how long have you been associated with Toys for Tots, and how did that happen?
How did it happen? I had a nonprofit, Hope, helping other people to expand, and actually I came out there and I spoke to, if I was correct, it was Sergeant Washington and Sergeant Myers, and hey, you got a nonprofit here, and why don't you get involved with us? That was 7 years ago, and Liz, which is my good friend, and she's also a volunteer there. She's been there for about, I think, about 9 or 10 years, and she just volunteered her time, and I've been involved with them for about 5 years now, 6 years, and I just volunteer my time to Toys for Tot. We really need Toys for Tot here in the community.
Definitely. And
also, the reason we're doing it so hard, we don't have our supporter anymore, Toys R Us. So we're really working hard just to get this thing done.
And that's a good point with Toys R Us not there. We need other organizations in the community that have access to toys to step up. Walmart is already stepping up to help to make sure that there's enough toys for all the kids in need. Each year, how much is the program expanding? Or what is the goal to try and expand each year?
As far as toy distribution, just being the nonprofit organization now, the expansion, we always went to expand bigger. We want to reach more kids. We want to get more toys. So any expansion that we do, the more numbers that we can get up to, as far as child toy distribution and donations made is always a great thing. So as long as we're making progress to getting children toys that are unable to get them themselves, it's a great thing.
And that's awesome to hear that you have some new big sponsors this year, and hopefully that continues to grow, because as Glenn brought up, the fact that Toys R Us is not in existence anymore, that will make it harder to get toys. I know that they helped you financially and by providing toys as well. If there's any listeners out there that want to donate money or donate toys, how can they reach you separate from these events?
Separate from these events, our Toys for Tots page does have a donation link on it, as well as the Facebook page. So on our Toys for Tots website is lathrop.ca.toysfortots.org.
Awesome.
So on there, it'll have all the information if anybody needs to know anything past what we distributed here. That is the hear-all, know-all for the Toys for Tots.
And how does your organization differ from other organizations that might be giving out toys or other presents?
We differ in the sense of our distribution rate and our turnover rate. We have a 93 or 97 to 3 turnover rate, which means 97% of the money that is donated to the Toys for Tots Foundation goes back to the communities.
That's huge.
And toys,
that's awesome.
Books, and other things like
Books
that.
Also.
Yes.
Wonderful. Awesome. All right, good. So we need to I'm glad that you mentioned that, because we need to let our listeners know that you're also in need of books. All age books, any certain age?
All age books.
Wonderful. Awesome. And how many books do you typically give out in our community every year?
Last year we handed out over 7,500 books.
Wonderful.
To the community.
Awesome. And that's huge, because literacy is such a big issue. Unfortunately, in our county, the kids are reading several percentage points below the national average. And so to me, books are huge. And, as a veterinarian, books are pivotal. Anyone can achieve anything through books.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Anything else that any of you would like to add?
Just basically, come out, support us, help us out, because through the community, our campaign will grow. So we just need a lot of support and a lot of help, and then through that we'll make some Christmases a lot brighter.
Awesome. And how does a family sign up to be a recipient of toys?
That will be on the website as well. So you go to the website, click request a toy, fill out the form, and that form will be sent directly to myself, Corporal Espinoza, and Staff Sergeant Addison. And then from there, we'll approve the request. And when the distribution date comes out, we'll send you an email to let you know that you'll be receiving the toys and what dates to come out, and show up and give you guys a Christmas.
Awesome. And besides Walmart and Buffalo Wings, what are some other locations that you'll be collecting toys at?
We'll be collecting toys at the Bank of Stockton. We have locations all around. Majority of them are all around the city. See.
You can go in and request a box. So,
oh, great.
For anyone out there listening that works maybe at a bank or a business, they can request a box and we'll come and we'll drop it off so that when people come into their business, they'll see the box and then drop off toys. And then at the end, we'll come in, pick up that box, and those are the toys that we'll give to the children.
Awesome. And I know Lincoln Center was very helpful last year. I went with you, and we had several small businesses that were willing to have a toy box, and that was awesome. That was really neat. And so hopefully all of the businesses that have had them in the past would be willing to do that again. And when will those boxes be available? Let's say that we have someone that works at a company or owns a company that wants a box. How can they get one, and when will they be ready?
The boxes are ready right now. We actually started our distribution of the boxes to the local community business and organizations out there.
Great.
Just as Corporal Espinoza stated, we go on the website and just request be a toy drop site, and we'll get that information and get those boxes out there to you.
Great. Awesome. And anything else that any of you would like to add?
Nothing for me.
How about for you?
Go ahead.
I want to say thank you to Dr. Sider for his generous donation, Sider I, and also Bank of Stockton, Mike Haley. I want to give him a shout out, and Miguel Polocuba for helping us out to promote Toys for Tot. Thank you.
Awesome. And it's once again, it's a really important organization. And as someone who's been able to participate in several toy distributions, it really changes your life, seeing the excitement and the emotions and what this really means to the children. And once again, to you, it might sound like it's just a toy, but it's not just a toy. And it's a sign of hope. And it's a sign that they matter, and it's just wonderful. So I encourage everyone, if you're able to donate a toy or book, have a container if you're affiliated with a business, promote Toys for Tots, and just come out and help our community. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Being that this is my last year before I rotate out the area, I'm still going to stick around here, helping out Sergeant Petway and Corporal Espinoza, and it's just the overall support that we get to the community that makes our organization strive to be better. So, as you stated, the whole purpose of Toys Tot is to bring hope to those children, so when they grow up, they can be they remember that feeling that they have, so they can help out the community that they're residing when they get older.
All right. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I am the voice of Stockton. You are the voice of Stockton. We are the voice of Stockton. Let's make it a great day.